Betty Rock, does the name Lonnie Frisbee mean anything to you?
Not really.
Well, it didn't to me either until I saw the new Erwin Brothers film, Jesus Revolution. It's that one that's like faith-based, and it's not the usual like faith-based film. Yes, it's a movie that tells the faith story of Pastor Greg Laurie after meeting this hippie preacher named Lonnie Frisbee. And what's cool is it's kind of all true. It was set in the 60s and 70s during the Jesus movement. And I'm telling you, Rock, you would absolutely love the soundtrack. It's really good. Your dad raised you on that stuff.
What did you like about the movie?
I like that the movie's about a guy searching for identity and inclusion and truth. And even though it's set in the 70s, man, it's exactly what people are looking for today. And the answer is Jesus. It's the same then as it is now. And I also really liked that it didn't paint a perfect picture of the church either.
Really?
Yeah, like it showed men's egos kind of getting in the way of God, and it showed the intolerance of people inside of faith. But it also showed that despite that, if we just get out of the way, revival is possible.
So what did you not like about the movie?
That I wasn't in it. Like that bothered me a little bit. I got to tell you, the Irwins, they cast Kelsey Grammer, and he's great. They got Jesus from The Chosen. I mean, that's a great get, but they could have had me for a whole lot less. But in the end, man, I really thought it was a great movie.
If you want to check it out and hopefully enjoy it as much as Wally did, it's in theaters right now.
Welcome to the Wally Show Aftercast. All the stuff we did not get to during the course of the show today. Betty Rock is out today, kind of recovering from probably the sickness I gave her. Don't tell her that. When we were traveling, we were coming back from Africa, and my last 2 days, I got super sick. And we were on a plane together and stuff. But my wife didn't get it, and actually, my wife sat between us.
And you would think that she'd be the most likely candidate.
Yeah, and so I think she might have just got it from the plane or something too. I don't know. But so Gavin's out tomorrow, so I'm like, you need to take the day off. That's great. Take the day off and get feeling better because I need you tomorrow if Gavin's out. And so that's what she did. And I had the luxury of coming home from my trip and having the weekend because I felt bad. Like I could hardly talk. My throat hurt so bad, and that's what she's at. So she's on like the third day of it, and that was like the worst day.
Oh, that's not fun.
Yeah, so she'll be back tomorrow though, and hopefully she's on the mend. Whoopie Goldberg in trouble again.
No way. What?
It makes me so happy.
What's she doing?
I love it. Like she had made an anti-Semitic remark a while ago and had to go out and apologize, and she's done it again. And this one, honestly, like I don't think that she should have been held to the fire for this one, but it just goes to show you that in this crazy, overly woke society, even if you are a crazy liberal like she is, you still can never be woke enough.
Yeah, that's like a good point, is that you almost feel like those people should be like safe from the world, at least from like the liberal world, but wow.
Nope, you cannot please any of these people. So she's walking back for a culturally insensitive mark that she made on The View the other day. She was discussing the conversation of former President Donald Trump and an issue that he was having. And so she used a derogatory racist term associated with the Romani people, the Gypsies. Have you ever seen my Gypsy Wedding or something like that on TLC?
No, I don't think so. Oh, no.
It's a train wreck.
Sounds like it.
Train wreck
That's just
show.
the TLC channel in general.
It is the worst of that group of people for sure.
Oh.
It is everything that's wrong with people in general, but then it does not put them in a good light. But she referred to Trump's political team as people who still believe that they got, and it's so funny, I'm reading this article, and that they got, and then in parentheses it just says expletive somehow in the election. They couldn't even say the word gypped. So that was the word. The word was gypped. Right.
People use that word, though.
Exactly.
Wait, when did that become bad?
Well, what they're saying is the term that she used was historically been used to denote someone who has been cheated in some way, likely originates from the derogatory term for the Romani term gypsy, like you got gypped by a gypsy, which is funny. It's likely. Like, so again, it's not even, this is not the N-word we're talking about here, you know? And if you want to really look at it, if that word evolved from something, it evolved from the unscrupulous members of a community that were doing wrong. And the gypsies have a yes, it is a stereotype generalization, but it's based in truth of a group of people that did swindle people, you know? And so that's where that came from. I never knew it was spelled GYPT or whatever it is, but like I always thought it was JIPPED, like gypped or ripped off. I said that all the time as a kid.
Sure, I feel like that's a word or phrase that everyone's used. I can't. It doesn't feel like one that like, oh no, I've never used that word. Like everyone's used that.
So
word.
Goldberg has to go on and make an apology, makes an apology video. And she says, when you're a certain age, you use words you know from when you're a kid, or you remember saying, and that's what I did. I shouldn't have. I should have thought it through more carefully. No, you shouldn't have. Like, you're being held on this word that's not a big deal. Words evolve, and where it might start somewhere, it doesn't mean that's where it ends today, and what the context of that word is today. But people in the woke culture don't accept that it's always what it started as is always what it was, and you're always a racist, or you're always an anti-Semite, or you're always this, or you're always that. And so I just think it's so funny that Whoopi can't even win with her own group of people. You know, she has to be scratching her head like, really, come on.
Yeah, and if because she's on The View, and if this is the second time in like a year that she's had to go on and apologize, at some point The View's probably going to say, well, like, obviously we're not like too bothered by this, but like we probably need to let you go because this keeps happening.
No, never.
But I hope they don't, because that would be terrible.
The only way that this is insanity of woke culture is going to stop, honestly, is if the liberals, who are part of the makeup of everyone being so offended and being woke, is if they come after enough and they say stop. That's the only way to happen. Because if they're going after like right wing or Republicans or conservatives, then it's fine. Like, they'll applaud. Hey, go after them. They're not woke like we are. We're all woke over here. You guys aren't. We need to stop you. But all of a sudden, when that woke beast turns its head and it bites its owner, all of a sudden you're like, wait a minute, whoa, that's for them. That's those people. Mm-hmm. And so now they're going to deal with that. And I'm telling you, the only way this stops is when they say enough is enough, because the other side of this saying enough is enough, it will never stop. But when their own people are like, okay, you gotta dial it back, then maybe it'll stop. But I don't see that happening anytime soon.
No, it feels like the form of like bullying that that woke culture puts on like the rest of the world is one that they are very okay with. Whereas when they get bullied themselves, then yeah, you're right. Like, they get hurt by it, and maybe because they're just not as tough. I don't know.
No, I have no idea anyway. So anyway, it's just good times on The View, and another apology video for Whoopi. There comes to be a point where where almost if you're her, you just go, like, at first you're like, I don't have to apologize for that. And then at some point in time you just give in, like, fine, I don't care. Okay, I was wrong again. I'm sorry. You know, and you don't ever mean it, and you just throw it out. There's no way she meant that apology, man. Like, I've had to apologize before in radio for things to save a billboard campaign, because we had done something. Somebody on our show in mainstream radio made a joke about cyclists, and this cyclist got nuts about running them off the road. And the cyclists banded together and boycotted our show, went after our advertisers. Oh, wow. It got so big. And we had to do an apology and do it on like this billboard about bike safety. And none of us believed it. None of us thought, because the comment was not, it was that version of woke culture. It got out of control. And we didn't believe it, but we had to save money, basically.
Oh, that too.
Yeah, it was horrible. And there's no way Whoopi felt like she had to apologize for that. So here's a new trend. You know, when you're driving, it's easy to get bothered by somebody, and you see people say howdy with one finger all the time, and that says a lot. It's aggressive. It's an aggressive move. But this is really funny, because Zach, who used to have Gavin's job, he used to boo people and give them a thumbs down. This is years ago. He would never flip anybody off, but if somebody did something that was bad, he would literally just give them a thumbs down, like just total disapproval, you know? And I always thought that was really funny, because if you flip somebody off, it's super aggressive.
It's venomous.
And you become the jerk.
Yeah.
It's really what it comes off like. You're the one that can't control your emotions. But when you just look at someone and you give them a thumbs down, it's really kind of funny.
It's like when a parent just says they're like disappointed in you.
Yeah.
You're like, that hurts way more than you telling me I'm like the worst kid in the world.
Yeah, and there was this one TikToker that said that she got a thumbs down for driving too slow, and it really affected her.
One time when we were in Colorado, there was an outcrossing sign, so we slowed down to the recommended speed. And then somebody from Colorado went around us, rolled their window down, stuck their arm all the way out, and gave us a thumbs down. And I think about that interaction every single day. Flipping people off when you're driving is dead. Give them a thumbs down. They will not forget you.
I think about that every day. I think she does, actually.
Well, and it is interesting, because it's a lot. it's, if you're trying to get some point across, but it's almost like a nicer way to say you disapprove of somebody.
absolutely.
It's like, it's not spreading kindness in the world per se, but it's not spreading like total negativity like the bird does.
And thumbs down, is kind of, I think it's kind of like a universal symbol too. Like people understand that that's not good. And thumbs up is vastly a universal symbol, but in some cultures it is a bad thing.
There's some where it's like you're pointing it, or I bite my thumb at you, or that.
Like when I was in Africa and I would give the thumbs up, I was like, oh wait, is that culturally insensitive here? Is this good?
Oh, was it?
No, it was good.
Oh, okay.
No, it was totally good. But there are some cultures where that means a completely different thing, when it is not good at all. All right, Gavin, you got some birthdays for us?
I do. This is a shout out for. Oh no, I criticize Betty for not being able to say names.
Is it a Guillermo situation?
No, it's not, because I know Mr. Guillermo pretty well. So this is a shout out for Shekinah from Berenice.
Okay. All right.
So apparently oh my goodness. I feel bad. I'm sorry. Shekinah, apparently, and then parentheses it says, like God's glory. So I don't know if that's bragging on yourself, or if that's
I think that's what it means.
What it means.
Yeah, I think that's what it means.
I have.
Another parentheses would have been helpful as a pronunciation.
Yeah. So, but a beautiful name, regardless. It is the shout out is for Shekinah.
Sure.
It's her 13th.
Here, let me give you a pro tip on this. Okay, after you mess it up like a third or fourth time, you just say, "Here's the shout out for them or they or whatever." Use a pronoun and and get through it so that you don't have to keep destroying it.
This is terrible. I'm sorry. It is her 13th birthday. She loves the show, especially Betty Rock. There is another parentheses comment, and this one's a little sad. It says this might be her last birthday here as she fights pancreatic cancer. Oh. So she would actually love it if we could do a birthday song for her.
Oh my goodness.
And at 13 years old, I can't imagine fighting that battle.
That's not right.
That's not something you deserve. Anyone, and nobody deserves it, but at 13 years old.
That's not right at all. Hopefully, there'll be some miracle for her for sure. But absolutely, we can do the birthday song. I can't produce miracles at all, but we can definitely do Happy birthday from all of us to you. Wish it was a birthday so we can party too. Hey! So there you go. And I hope it is a great 13th birthday for sure. All right, that's going to do it for your Aftercast. And as always, thanks for being a potty.